Evening, chaps, and welcome back. Hope you're all well. Season 6 of the All Stars is about to commence. Horny for it as ever, just like Rob says in the chat. Great that we're back so quick turnaround. And delighted to say that I'm joined by Unicorn's boss Smuts tonight. Evening, Smuts.
Evening. Absolutely wetter than an otter's pocket for tonight, mate. Absolutely buzzing. Cannot wait.
Absolutely. Seeing a few of the guys in the chat. Duggan is here. Good evening. Mega Horse. Jens is here. Vikings early, please. No problem. Who else have we got? We've got Daz. We've got Rob. And I'm sure a few in the background and still to join. Rox is here as well. Fantastic stuff. Just one request.
I'm putting the lottery on tonight if Rox is here. Fucking hell.
Yeah, as well. Good to see so many in attendance. And I just make one request, lads. If you have, and Savage is here as well. If you have any preferences on squad numbers, please drop them in the comments now. Smuts will be responsible for keeping an eye on any preferences. If not, I'm just going to hit the auto button. Duggan, I know you dropped yours in the emails, but to save me opening it up, can you just drop them in here, if you don't mind? And anybody else, if not, we'll just click auto. So what we'll do is, Jens wants to go first, so we will start there. As we go, I guess we'll have a chat through the squads, new look formations, new look teams, and transfer business, and go from there. So Jens is up against
the racists.
Is up against Rob. What a great start. So quick look at Jens's business. So we have got Lucio, Davids, Gronkiar, Peter Olsen from outside the league, Shevchenko, Cambiasso, Justin Walker, Zaurik, Kallstrom, and Nano in.
Bit of a mixed bag, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I think quite a lot of shit's moved from the auction, but
yeah, I mean, you look at Robin coming in theory is great, but it looks like a really shit Robin. Has he done anything in the save yet?
Not particularly. He's got 6 goal contributions for last year. I mean, he did okay for Tato, 8 goals and 2 assists, but not, you know, if Robin's going to set fire, this is the season he normally would. On paper, his numbers don't look great.
12 for crossing. Yeah, he's fast, he's agile, shit finishing, shit dribbling, passing okay, 9 creative. I mean, it's not a Robin I'd be clamouring for, realistically.
No, and I think he personally think that he overpaid for him and Bailly, who's probably been the best AMC in the league, up there with the Elias over the last couple of years. So this is how his squad looks, and this is how he lines up. So we've got the same tactic as last year. So we've got Toldo, Montero, Terry, Charlie, Chaos, Davies, Gattuso, and then a 4 of Nedved, Robin, Veron, and Victor. Obviously spearheaded by Cezalko, who will be integral to everything that Vikings do.
Yeah, it's a very decent 11. Well, it's a very decent 10. He needs a right-sided player. I don't rate Nedved, but by all accounts, he's been very good this save.
He has.
Just his wits, really.
He got 7 goal contributions in 13 last season. Did okay for Wanganui before that.
I'm happy to be proved wrong. I mean, again, on paper, he looks far better than Robin.
And Shevchenko in, but obviously with this tactic, only makes the bench. I guess it gives them the option to go 2 up front or move.
It's not a bad option to have on the bench, is it? Realistically,
no, not at all. Okay, so Cezalko 9, he said, and then everybody else. Auto. And then he is up against Rob, who signed Mike Duff and Battaglia. And then we've got Ebby Sand, Willie Samuel, Ross Johnson, Zlatan, Phil Neville, Romashchenko, a lot of shit in the draft there. And then we've got Brozek, Kerr, Rossini, Stephen Reed, Cassano, Dalmat, Pippo Inzaghi, Clivert. So quite a lot of strikers.
He's massively improved his attacking options.
Yeah.
But has got fuck all else.
Yeah, I
Pretty
think Rob historically likes to chop and change his striker if he's played one. I'm not sure that he's probably had a striker play more than 3 or 4 games on the bounce in the history of his compared to Campbell. Yeah, he's brought some better options in this season, and his tactic will reflect the fact that he's trying to get more players forward.
Oh, that's a new one. I love that one at the back.
So we've got one at the back, 3 AMCs behind 2 strikers. Interesting.
The one thing I would say is he's brought 3 strikers in, and he's only playing one of them.
Yeah, I mean, it actually didn't shock me. What shocked me was a couple of the selections. Romachenko at DMC ahead of Rabasandra Tanner, who's been decent in this save, I think. Well, maybe not last season, to be fair. So maybe fine. And that Ebby Sand starts ahead of Inzaghi and a couple of the other guys that he brought in. He's got Salas. I think Rossini's in the reserves as well.
This got goals written all over it, to be honest. 2 really random tactics, or 2 non-normal tactics, 2 non-normal managers, one born of incest, one born of Viking blood. It should be a good one. It's a right good game to start off with, isn't it?
Yeah, it is indeed. So Rob's got 5 attacking players against sort of Jens's 5 defensive players. And Jens is playing 4 across the midfield, and Rob's playing none. So how that's going to pan out, I've no idea. Rob, just quickly, have you got any preferences on squad numbers? If not, we'll get this game underway.
Wait for the formation, don't need anything else, says Rob. Yeah, no, mate, go for it.
Magic. Perfect. So, first game of season 6, Rapa Nui and Rob versus Jens Vikings. We will kick it off. Zalko with a really early chance for Vikings. A bit of possession from Rapa Nui, and they do open the score in Mike Duff on 19 minutes. Puts Rob Rapa Nui 1-0 up. Brozic with a chance. Charlie Chaos doing a lot of defensive work. Zalko with another big chance to level. Couple of yellow cards in this first half as well. Veron with a chance for Vikings. Charlie Chaos still involved plenty more attacking than you'd think. And we do get to half-time at 1-0. Mike Duff's opener. 4 attempts apiece, 3 on target for Rapa Nui, 2 for Vikings. Smuts, what do you make of the first half?
Yeah, it felt fairly even. It's a surprise to see Veron on a 5. Obviously, he got the yellow card, but he looked like his name was popping up quite a bit.
Yeah, I think Charlie Chaos was the one that I sort of noticed involved. He's had two shots from the 4 for Vikings. Plenty of defensive work for him as well. John Terry doing okay. Davids and Veron into the book. But he'll be disappointed to see his big players, Veron, Cizalco, and Nedved on 6s. Rob's rolling before he's even seen, but we will jump over and have a look. We'll wait and see if Jens wants to do anything. But solid first half home performance from Rob.
Yeah, cracking. Those 2 wing backs are going to be fantastic. And they're going to be a big focal point for his team. And a 9 and an 8 and a goal. You can't say fairer than that.
No, not at all. And the assist coming from D'Alessandro is definitely a favourite of Rob's. Jens with early changes. So Robin is going to be pulled at half-time for Shevchenko. Shevchenko's going to go to AMC with an arrow. And then we've got Veron central without an arrow. Just confirm that is what you're happy with, Jens. And we'll run it through.
That just looked a lot more balanced, to be fair.
Yeah, and I think, to be honest, if he starts with that shape with Robin in the AMC, it doesn't make him any weaker.
No, not at all.
Magic. Okay, so we will run this on to 60 minutes on fast to make sure we don't miss the break. And it is Vikings coming forward early, Cizalco involved. Duff into the book for bringing him down. And Materazzi, that lone centre-back, into the book as well. 4 or 5 yellow cards now. Ebby Sand with a chance, and he has doubled the lead. But it has been disallowed. David Dwight Has flagged Brozek offside. Heading towards 60 minutes. Is there any drama before we get there? Vikings pushing forward. Gattuso floats up crossing, goes through to Oliver Kahn, and we get to 60 minutes. No attempts apparently in that sort of 15-20-minute period, apart from that goal that was disallowed. It felt quite Vikings heavy, other than the like you said, the chance that was disallowed. But no real improvement in the ratings. David's on an 8, doing okay, but also a booking. But still a few 5s and 6s in there for Vikings. We'll jump across and have a look at Rapa Nui, and again, no real change as you would expect with not a lot of action, but some solid performances, in particular from the wing backs, as you mentioned. Mark Kerr as well, playing DMC today, having a really good game.
Yeah, Romoshenko too. That entire sort of defensive back 5 having an absolute storming game. So, considering how attacking the team is, the 5 or 6 players at the back are doing really well.
Yeah, absolutely. Mover on up to AMC next to Shevchenko with arrows, and that's it. All good, Jens. Just give us the thumbs up, and then we'll just wait and see if Rob wants to do anything. I'd be amazed if it's anything other than a potential attacking player switch for Rob.
That's interesting. He has gone for the formation change.
Coming off for Robert Sandratana.
Some would say he's
swapping
with making a
interesting one. That going a little bit more defensive. Really well in defensive midfield, but he's moved him a little bit further forward.
Very un-Rob-like. Maybe he's growing up. Maybe he's growing as a person. I doubt it, considering the fact that his tactic name is a nod to Jimmy Savile and his team's called the Racists. But, there's growth in there somewhere.
Indeed. Right. Nothing from either manager in addition to that. So we will run this first game of the night, to a conclusion. Cizalco's hit the upright and Vikings pushing. But we've got 15 minutes to go. Mark Kerr into the book as well now. Is Rapa Nui coming forward in the last 10 minutes? And we're into added time. Doesn't look like Vikings are going to get anything here. And it is 1-0 to Rapa Nui. That solitary goal from Mike Duff on 19 minutes. Not the best second half spectacle. Just a couple of chances for Vikings on paper there. And Rob has done a really good job of seeing that one through.
Yeah, I mean, they were good value for the win, in fairness. Like I said, that sort of back wall of DMs with Materazzi and Carr behind them shouldn't work, but has done really well there. Not really sure why Candela was man of the match there, as he's
made a few tackles, won a couple of headers. His pass completion is not great. He's got no key passes. But Romoshenko's done a decent job. And like you said, that entire defensive midfield line have done really well. Over at Vikings, Jens will be disappointed with the performance, especially of his forward players. His centre-backs did well in the end. But food for thought in terms of whether this tactic is a little bit too defensive to get the best out of his attacking players.
Yeah, there certainly came a little bit more attacking once those AMCs were pushed up. And I think maybe, as you say, food for thought, he might start that in the next game, especially if it's a home game. I understand it, away game, maybe throw a couple of players further back. First game of the season, he always throws up some weird results. But yeah, I think I wouldn't be too disheartened if I was Jens. It's not the worst performance in the world.
No, not at all. You can't be panicking after one game. Well done to Rob, unlucky to Jens, and the next game is going to take us to you. Unicorns versus Townsville. Hodgie didn't do a great deal of business, but what he did do was he's brought in Alex and Yepes from Blitz, Alguera and Lawson from yourself, and paid an extortionate amount of money. Oh, it didn't go through. An auction who actually doesn't make his first team squad. And this is how he lines up this evening. What do you make of
that? It's pretty much what he it sort of alluded to being his lineup at the start of the season. That defensive sort of back 3 or 4 again. It's solid on paper. The wide players shouldn't work, but have done historically for Hodgie. It's not one of the strongest squads on paper, but it's got the potential to be way more than the sum of its parts, realistically. I think worry the lack of transfer business. But saying that, he has got at least one starting player from his transfer business in that.
I don't mind the formation. I've used it a little bit in home says, not that that's relevant to competitive champ, but I just have concern. I don't like Lawson. I think he's shit. And I just worry that Mendes de Silva's probably not strong enough to be a lone DMC. I think if you're going to play one, it needs to be one of the elite. Not sure about Van Bronckhorst in centre midfield. I like Recovery. He did okay back in the USA days for a loco. Morientes with Wood.
Oh, you're right as well. Well spotted. Just right click on him and it will go away. There you go.
Magic. Hodgie.
Well spotted, Duggan.
Morientes number 5. Is that because he's going to get 5 goals because he was whip-wobbed? Any preference on captain? You got 30 seconds. If not, we will move across and let Smuts talk us through his unicorns.
Oh, that's naughty. Hey, Wooder's back.
I'm sure there's a perfectly good explanation that Hodgie will share with us all.
I imagine the explanation is he's started with the 4-4-2 defensive for whichever one of them has got one of the players with Bob for no apparent fucking reason. Usually the goalkeeper, and then move players around.
I didn't even know that was a thing. Okay, I'm going to assume he's not asked for a captain or squad numbers, and we'll go across to unicorns. So your business, Franca, Simic, and Trezeguet were the deals that were agreed a little bit later.
Nothing to move the dial too much there, but
quite a lot of players in the Castraman, Pizarro, Leon Pure, Emerton, Power, Petrov, Sadov, Ayala, and Van Moll, who's coming from outside the league, doesn't make the first team squad yet. Agat, Patsoglu, Brugink, Van Petter is back. Denilson from the auction, and Dabo. Summarise your business for us, Smuts.
Yeah, I mean, last season was not entirely great, realistically. The bright spots were Mpenza and Scally, and they were the only two I really wanted to keep. I needed to improve at AMC from previous seasons, and I bought too many this season. At one point, I had Del Vecchio, Collins, Bruggen, Gang, Mackay, who could all start. The width of George Atos and Beckham is far more solid than it was when I was playing wingbacks with Kieran Dyer last season. I worry that the outside 2 DMs might not be strong enough, but with Scally in between them, I think it should be all right. I need Mpenza back sooner rather than later, realistically.
Yeah, I think my observations when I set it up was not convinced about Simic. I'm not sure whether he's just there because you've got an injury or you've got
I'm never really that asked about defenders. I could have done with maybe one better defender, but yeah.
And yeah, my other observation, just Savage has just dropped in the chat that the Mackay is not starting. I thought that he's probably the strongest AMC. If you look at historical performance in competitive champ, Collins has been hit and miss. Brugging again hit and miss, but Mackay's probably the more consistent out of the three.
Yeah, he'll get plenty of games. I'd rather give Brugging a try to start with at the start of the season, where historically nothing makes sense, and then Mackay will be the one who starts eventually.
Yeah. And just in terms of squad numbers, yours is the only squad where, when the game requested that we'd submitted squad numbers earlier in the save, I did yours just to avoid the numbers that you didn't want.
Perfect. Yeah, literally any number but 13 and 24. It's fine. Perfect.
Yep. So, second game of the night is Smuts Unicorns and Hodges Townville. Good luck, chaps. And it is an early goal for Lawson against his former club.
Et tu, Brute.
Townsville 1-up.
That's what you get for calling him shit 2 minutes ago.
How ironic would it be that if Hodgie gets off to a flyer and doesn't get sacked in the real save after all the time he's been in everybody's test? And it is 2-0 recover from that AMC position. Doubles the lead for Hodgie.
I can't remember ever winning a game when I've been on stream that wasn't in the small horse.
We have got an injury to Martin Lawson. I'm assuming it's for Yepes. We'll do that. Just get it ready. Tato commenting how good Mendes de Silva is on the save, singing his praises. Just wait for to confirm, but it makes sense that that is a like-for-like swap.
Cheers for that, Duggan. I didn't win that game, though, did I? Fucking Zé Roberto in the 90th minute. I've never been so disappointed to win, to get a last-minute goal, to not lose the game. I was fuming.
Right, Yepes is on. We've got 5 minutes till half-time. Unicorns 1, Townsville 2. And we do get to half-time at 2-1. 3 attempts, Unicorns, 4 for Townsville. Jump across to Hodgie first. Romadal playing well on an 8, as is Nesta. Assists coming from Romadal and Aymar, which will please Hodgie, and I wouldn't expect too much more from him at this stage, especially after an injury, but a pretty solid start for Townsville. Over at the Unicorns, we've got Shea.
Hang on. Breaking news here, Scott. We're going to have to hold fire here. Do my eyes deceive me? Who's that? Joseph Wood just arrived. A whib-wob alarm went off, and of course, Wood arrives. Toot sweet.
In the house, calling out Hodgie. Whib-wob himself. Unbelievable scenes.
The whib-wob bat signal arrived. Fantastic. Swap the keepers, and away we go. Right.
So, Given is off. Ilifropoulos on, and we will run it to 60 minutes. And it is 2-2. Pat Satsoglu against his former club, I believe, has a brace on debut. Levels up for Unicorns. After being 2-0.
Rox's comment there about the 4 horsemen of the champ manager is exceptional.
A few minutes till we get to 60. Very good game. Plenty of chances, plenty of text. Van Bronckhorst is the book. And we get to 60. Is there a click goal? I'm adding to the book now as well. Unicorns pushing for this turnaround, but we get to 64 minutes. Just that one attempt from Unicorns since the break. We'll jump across to Hodgie first. No real change in terms of ratings for them. Ferguson and Broadcast on bookings might be something to think about. Perez and Tristan, the options from the bench. I wouldn't expect to see Tristan with Morientes with his secret whip up tactics. But we'll see if Hodgie wants to do anything. Smuts, anything from you, do you think?
I think it's probably time to unleash Mackay, isn't it? Although both the AMs are doing all right. Do I drop one of the DMs? Tempting. No, we'll just do Mackay for Brugink. And I'll tell you what, we'll bring Pizarro on for Trezeguet as well. Just because he's done fuck all so far. I'll see if that does
will change for the Unicorns. We'll just wait and see if Hodgie wants to do anything. Hodgie wants the right click back on Morientes.
Well, since we've got the expert here, Wib Wob Wooder, what would you do? What would Wib Wob Wubba do? That's easy enough for me to say after 2 fucking pints. This must be an essay coming here. Or
big changes are he's fucked off in embarrassment. Been hounded out.
He's getting the stocks out of his garage and getting them ready to slide in the stocks in public. Shame.
Give him another 20 seconds. If not, we will run it through. Chris, with ball him more to the middle box, please.
Make sure we put man marking on the keeper as well, yeah?
Right. I'm going to assume Hodgie's gone or is happy, and we will run this one through. Is there a decisive goal coming in the last 20 minutes? Unicorns have come from 2 down. And it is Davy Collins. Surely the winning goal on 86 minutes puts Unicorns 3-2 up. Yepes into the book. And it is 4-2.
Oh, hello.
4-2 from 2-0 down.
What a second half that
23
is.
minutes. Unicorns have turned it round to win 4-2 with late goals from Collins and Beckham. Second half didn't really set a line.
In fairness to Hodgie, he's just sent a message on WhatsApp saying he was trying to make a sub.
Oh, well, I've not seen anything come through.
It definitely didn't come through. Here we go.
Okay. Well, then, my apologies to Hodgie, but I mean, if anybody else saw a message in the chat that I've missed, I'm sure they would have shouted. But nothing has come through.
There was definitely nothing. He wanted Van Bronckhorst for Tristan 2 up top, Barry centralised, please.
Well,
a bit late.
Apologies, Hodgie. It's not come through. The WhatsApp's only just come through. I didn't even know it was there until Smuts has just said. So my apologies for that. But back to the game. 4-2 win, first game of the season. What's your thoughts?
I was not expecting that from how it started. Beckham getting a 10 is unreal.
2 assists and a goal in the second half for Beckham.
Yeah. Fantastic second half. Basically, the only thing I changed was the keeper, and look at this difference that made.
Collins had a good game, as did Scally and Poway as well.
I think that's probably made me mind up on who's going to be that. I was torn between either Poway or Lee Young Pyo.
Barry Ferguson's had a poor game, as has Taibbi. Looks like he's thrown a couple in second half for Hodgie.
He's got the Man U Taibbi, not the Inter.
Well done to Smuts, unlucky to Hodgie. And we will go across to Tavu at Bushrats. So, plenty of deals for the Bushrats. Desai's coming late on quite a few players in the auction. Yakubu as well, Al-Haran in, and then an awful lot of players here. Viduka, Larson, Nahajcik, one of the big signings.
Yeah, Nahajcik is going to be the big one there. Yeah, I was very, very surprised you let him go, in all honesty.
The Bushrats line up like this. The only thing, I guess, that you might point out is that Viduka's on 90%, but I'm not sure what it is, but I'm sure Tato will. He's got a bruised rib, but he's in any case. Maldini, Lasisi, a DM3 of Malevski, Desai, and Gerard. Nahajcik and Giggs, phenomenal wingers, probably the two best in the league currently. And Larson supporting Viduka and Vieira. Tato, any preference on numbers? And we've got Liam in for 2-2 as well, which is magic. Couldn't care less magic. And over at Vua, line up, quick look at the deals. They didn't do a lot. Costanzo and Adilson in, as well as Simone, I guess, to replace Desai, and then some players from the auction as well, which sees a very familiar lineup and tactic. We've got Simone in for Desai, like for like, and then Adilson in at AMC to replace Scholes, who's gone out. So yeah, how do you think? And we've also got Costanzo who's come in as first choice with Nick Matulin dropped.
Yeah, I don't mind the fact that they've not done too much business considering how well they did last season. I mean, getting to the final in your second ever season is unreal.
Credit to them. They had a solid.
I think they managed to freshen it up a little bit, but not dismantle it, if that makes sense.
So, last season's runners-up against the Bushrats. Here we go. And it is Adilson on his debut against his former club.
A lot of that tonight already.
Yeah, I think based on the amount of deals that have been done, that's going to be...
That's going to happen a lot, yeah.
But it is all 2-2 at the moment.
That was said with the emphasis of a man who's had to do all of those deals in-game.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. The worst thing is I had all the deals done probably 2 days after the season had finished. And then we did the fucking auction.
Yeah.
Did it all again. And it is half-time at 1-0. That Adilson goal separating the sides. Fair amount of chances. 5 for the home side, 7 for the away side. Start with 2-2. Costanzo doing well on debut against his former club as well. No assist for that Adilson goal. Tribo West continuing his good form. Tato's going to run through to 60 minutes without having a look. But we will just quickly look. We've got 7s and 6s across the board. No real standouts. Not the best first half for Bushrats.
He's in the chat, so I will do his joke for him. But this one's for Horse. Bushrats there, all at 6s and 7s.
6-7.
And then I was gonna,
a roll from 2-2 as well. So we'll play this through to 60 minutes. The amount of times I saw that in the comments last season, and it is Ryan Giggs, who Tato said was expecting a better season, and within a few seconds of the second half resuming, as the Bushrats level. Don't do it, Scott. I've got a nearly 4-year-old and 11-year-old daughter. I hear it quite frequently, unfortunately.
Yeah, my missus is a lunchtime assistant at the school, the preschool, and hears it quite a lot and absolutely fucking hates it.
6-7 is dead now, lads. Tato, you were in the chat almost every stream last season with the 6-7, and it's only 10 days since we finished the season. And it is 60 minutes up. Still plenty of chances. Bushrats pushing forward in that second half and looking relatively dominant. Lasisi up to an 8. First ever goal for Bushrats for Giggs is a pretty mad stat considering he played 24 times for them last season. But yeah, better performances, assists coming from Henrik Larsson, across at Tutavua. Sol Campbell de Court struggling a little bit. Ortega not really involved, apart from that 7s and 8s. So we'll see what the managers want to do.
You'd maybe see Michael Owen coming on here for.
Yeah, I think that's quite a
Saviola,
familiar
'cause he's got
60 minutes.
minutes. Yeah, Saviola's really not been in the game at all. Looking at that, 9 passes.
Gerard off for Yakubu for Bushrats, and that is all. Just see if Liam or Chris, I'm not sure if Chris is about as well, want to do anything. But yeah, Owen for Saviola will probably be the switch. Maybe Youngberg for Ortega. He's not having the best of games.
Or in fairness, Matty Allen could go out there as well.
Yeah. How do you think Time Wasters will do this season after last season's excellent runs up?
It'll be very difficult for them to replicate it just because of how competitive the league is every year. But it'd be interesting to see if they can maintain that quality that they had last year.
Yeah.
Be very, very, very interested to see how well they do.
Yeah, I think that run they went on sort of projected them up to the top 2, but to put a run together of 17 unbeaten, I think it was, and it is a Dilson on 74 minutes puts the Time Wasters 2-1 up, and an exceptional game against his former club. Since Tutavua scored, it's been pretty much all Bushrats, and we have now got a red card for Taribo West. We don't have
Saeed back.
Yeah, I think that is the obvious one. Yeah, just going back to what I was saying, Tato, if you want to do anything to counteract because of the red card, give us a shout. The fact that they went sort of 17 games unbeaten, that doesn't happen very often.
No.
To put that kind of form together in a league so competitive is exceptional.
It's realistically, it's not going to happen again. Top 6 would be a fantastic achievement, realistically, which is not sort of downplaying how well they did last season. It's the opposite. They very much overachieved last season.
Like that, do you want the arrows on or off the DMCs, Liam? Just quickly give us a shout and let us know what you want to do there. It deals with performance to press. We've only got 3 minutes left. We've got big moves from Tato in a gung-ho last few minutes.
Arrows off, please. There we go.
Magic.
Yeah, I mean, Tato's got to go for it at this point. He's literally got
Larson to striker. Extend the wing arrows. Desai off for Pierre. Desai off for Pierre. Stick him central striker. Larson at AMC with an arrow.
So he moved Larson and then moved him back again.
Centralise the DMCs. Keep the arrows, please. Is that right, Tato? Give us a nod. I think that sounds right. Yeah, I think Adilson was part of the Desai deal. And Desai is not having the best of games, and Adilson is excelling. Perfect. So 5 minutes probably with stoppages for Bushrats to find a leveller. 2-2 with 10 men for the last few minutes, looking to hold on. What would be a valuable win to start the season. Pierre with a chance. It's a superb save for Costanzo. I'm not sure there was that much abuse about the Desai deal, to be honest. I mean, I don't think there was that much abuse.
I didn't think it was that bad a deal. They got effectively they got 2 starters for.
I think I don't think that the deal itself was terrible. I think it was more everybody knew they needed DMC. That was the talking point. But Tutavua 2, Bushrats 1. More chances for Bushrats, but probably the better the chances for Tutavua. Adilson does pick up a 10 on debut against his former club. Assist for Van Nistelrooy, who picks up after a good season last year. Costanzo as well, 9 on debut, will be pleasing. We've got Larson with an assist. Yakubu didn't do anything exceptional when he came off the bench. A few decent performances in there. And I think Bushrats will bounce back pretty quickly. Well done to Liam and Meady. Next, we have got Rox's AFC. If he's still about, that'd be great, against Dan's Hobart. Quick look at the business. Tikhonov, Palermo and Zanoni in, as well as Andre Petkov, Barascolotto, Turan Bruno, Gomez, Badaro and Ciso, Radoy and Mark Anthony. Sees Rox call a 23-man squad together. Baumer suspended for this one, and this is how Rox lines up. We've got the 2-5-3.
Interesting. It's what he's been playing in the World Cup as well. That the back two, that's the best two centre backs in the league as a pairing. That DM line, all 5 of them, class. Even better when Boomer comes in for Petkov. The front 3 is his weakest part of the formation, realistically. He needs 3 up there because no one of them on their own are good enough. Paragon, I'd be very interested to see if he can start scoring.
I think that he could score goals in a 1. Be interesting to see how it goes in a 3. Big target man in Palermo up there. The 3 central DMCs are good. We know that Rox loves Schmuck and he will score big goals for him. Interesting to see how it goes. And I'm unsure if
he could not give it.
Dan is here.
Never else.
So quick look at Dan's business to give a shout if you're here, Dan. So Dan has brought in Kivu, Elber, Joko, Davidov from outside the league, Raul Giovanni, Carlos Jacks, Tahinen, and Rudy Haddad. And that sees giving away Arco was a slightly silly move in hindsight. Yeah, I'm not convinced about Petkov in general as a personal preference. Never mind as a left wing back. But Dan is here as well, which is good. And Dan lines up like this, familiar formation. Quite a lot of familiar players that Dan sort of has used and trusts, and sometimes probably don't always churn out the exceptional ratings or contributions, but generally gel together quite well as a team.
Yeah, it's another one similar to Hodges' team where on paper, not the strongest, but far better than the sum of its parts. The business he's done this year is pretty good, in my opinion. Jack's coming back. Raul should do a lot for him. Joe Cole playing out on the left all season. I think it's interesting. Bit of business. So yeah, and he's managed to keep Tomasi. That's probably the biggest.
I think he made it quite clear right from the end of last season. He probably had numerous inquiries and made it quite clear to everybody that Tomasi stays and it's not negotiable. And I don't want any silly offers. He's just not for sale.
Yeah,
fair play. Dan, any preference on numbers? Just give me a quick shout.
I love that he's changed his name to Kitchen Dan CM now as well. That is exceptional. The battle of the knuckle tattoos as well. Any numbers, not bothered.
Any numbers, magic. So, 4th game of the evening, I think it is. We've got Rox AFC against Kitchen Dan and Hobart. And we've got, a double injury on 14 minutes. I'm not sure what happened. We will have a look at half time. But it looks like a collision between Milito and Joe Cole, which is going to mean some kind of significant reshuffle for Dan.
Have they gone full Lasso Batty, Dyer Bellamy there? And
I'm not sure what's happened. Maybe a clash of heads from a corner or something. But yeah, I mean, we're probably going to see Filipescu come on at centre back, and then
Scott is the anti-Steve. So Rox has got a thing about anytime Steve's streaming, he ruins one of Rox's players at the very least. So you breaking two of Dan's players against him is absolutely top.
That comment did baffle me a little bit, but I'm glad you've cleared it up for me. So Raul and Filipescu have come on just to confirm, Dan, you're leaving them as they are, so Raul's going to play from the left.
I mean, it makes sense. If Filipescu can play centre back,
it's not a thing. It's real, and it ruins at least 4 at a time.
I thought Filipescu was only a DM, but if he can play centre back,
I'm pretty sure he can. Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, as it is magic. So Raul from the left, Filipescu on at centre back. And yeah, we'll have a look at half time and see what happened there. But it is Carlos Jacks on his second debut, who scores, and it is Bobby Paragon who equalises for AFC, and a really exciting first half here. Kutuzov as well, partnering Jacks at AMC, has put Hobart 2-1 up. I really like that AMC pairing for Hobart, and we get to half time. AFC 1, Hobart 2, along with the 2 injuries. 2 shots AFC, 3 for Hobart. We've had 3 goals, 2 injuries. And we'll start with Hobart. What do you make of that first half?
It's not been a night for keepers so far. There's been lots and lots of goals, and I think other than maybe my second choice keeper getting an 8, I think everybody's been getting low ratings from the goalkeepers, which is always fun from a point of view of the stream itself. To be in front after losing 2 of his starting 11 after 14 minutes.
Let's have a look.
Yeah, what happened?
No, picked up
literally the first thing that happened.
It doesn't even say, so both side managers are going to play on. Tomasi doing well, putting in his tackles, got an assist and a yellow card as well, heavily involved in everything. Decent performance from AFC, with the exception of Michelini on a 6. Everybody else is doing well. Cannavaro exceptional at the back. Petkov as well from that left-hand side picks up the assist for Paragon. But both managers are going to play on, so we'll run it to 60.
I think Dan's not really got a lot of choice but to play on, realistically.
No.
It is good to see Paragon score, though.
Yeah, I think he's got potential to score goals. I like him.
Yeah.
When Rock submitted his first team squad, when he sent his first team squad through, Paragon wasn't in it, and I asked him about him in the off season. He said he didn't want to lose him; he was going to play him. But yeah, he said that was just an error, and he should be in there. And here he is scoring first game of the season.
Yeah, I'd like to see somebody play him all season, and maybe slip Soto in there as well. The DM.
I'd love Soto. He's not on the save, unfortunately. Otherwise, he would be with me or Soto. Right, we are on at 60 minutes. Not a great deal to shout about. A chance apiece over at Hobart. Again, we've just got Giovanni on the bench as an option for Dan. But with Simkoviak doing okay and the AMCs both scoring, I wouldn't expect anything from Dan. Across at AFC, Schmuck on a 6. Everybody else doing just fine. We've got Sorochinsky, Zanoni, and Bardaro as the options on the bench for Rocks. What would you expect to see from him?
I mean, Sorochinsky's probably the only option there, considering how well those DMs are doing. And yeah, Duggan's right. Westerveld has been absolutely class. And we're
going to see a change from Dan. We're going to see Giovanni come on for Elber, and Raul's going to go up front.
Interesting.
As is from Rocks as well, so we will play this one through to 90 minutes. And it is Jax, couldn't miss, but somehow did. 15 minutes to play Simkoviak, and it is Jax doubles his tally and puts Hobart 2 goals ahead with 10 minutes remaining. Kutuzov as well, heavily involved, and that AMC pairing performance will delight Dan. We get to full time. AFC 1, Hobart 3, and an exceptional start for the Heathens. 10 attempts, 9 on target, just the 4 attempts for AFC. Carlos Jacks picks up man of the match for a 9 with his brace. Assist from Tomasi. and some really good performances in there. Raul come on and did well playing out wide and then moving forward. Kutuzov picking up a goal as well. What stands out for you other than the obvious smuts?
Yeah, I think again, Raul coming on there. I think we'll probably see him starting next game, depending on how injured Joe Cole is. I think, regardless, I think you probably see Raul in the next game.
Yeah, and that's
Interesting.
a big centre midfield performance from Emerson, who historically for Dan has done okay in terms of. I think Dan sees him as a player who just kind of knits the rest of the team together in there.
Yeah.
Don't pull up any trees, but a really good performance from him.
Yeah, I like Emerson, and I like him in that formation as well. Schmuck getting a 5 is a big surprise.
Yeah, I think
it's one of the worst performances I've seen him do.
Yeah, Rocks won't be pleased with his boy, but a couple of decent performances, Paragon and Petkov. Everybody else with 7s, with the exception of Smuck. But it is Dan who takes the 3 points. Well done to him. Next up, we have got Dragons against Wanganui. So, business from Duggan, Reyes in. We've also got Hofflin, Petit, Constantinu, Arcaboya, Smith, Wellens, Henshaw, Kelme, Viale, Robbie Fowler, Rovniak, and Bergkamp, Peter Sand, and Dida from the draft as well, which sees them line up like this. I think quite a lot's been made about the squad that Duggan's put together.
4, 5, 6, 7 starters from his transfers there.
Yeah, and I think Rovniako's only in because Cafu's out. Quite a lot been made of the business in the squad that Duggan's put together. Has he got a bit of pressure on him this season to deliver?
He has to. I think I'm not the only one who said it. If Dragons don't win it this year, they never will. This is look. This is Edwards' formation. I try not to say Campbell's formation. It's Edwards' formation with a team full of Galacticos. This is the closest we're getting to Edwards being in the Super League.
If you look at some of the players that don't even make the match day squad, obviously Cafu's injured, but Manu Petit, he'll probably be in there. Ronnie Johnson on the bench starts for a lot of teams. Viale and Mourinho, both exceptional backup centre-backs. Alan Smith, who's having a really good save, got 2 goals in the final last year. Back at Dragons. Torres as well. It really is strength.
Mourinho would get in a lot of teams as well.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Constantino 9. Ronaldinho 10. Back 7. Magic. So he lines up against Wanganui, who again have done a fair bit of business. They have brought in Madavikia, Paolo Sousa, Zidane, Tratza, Totti, fair bit of business with the Warriors, Osmanovsky from outside the league, and then a lot of shit in the draft. And that sees a relatively tame tactic from Savage in comparison to what we've seen in the last couple of seasons.
Interesting. He's got some strikers on the pitch. Unbelievable. And 2 on the bench. Yeah, I mean, Totti, the big signing there, should be huge for him. Madavikia and C. Roberto out wide should do well. If he can get Zidane ticking like you managed to, should be good. Those 2 DMs are fantastic. Well, yeah, I think there's a lot to like about this team, and still has got a very much Mike Savage stamp all across it.
Yeah, I think there's obvious weakness at centre back. I had a chat with Mike about his squad that he put together, and he said that he tried for a big centre back but couldn't get hold of one. He just didn't have enough to be able to do that. I'm quite intrigued to see Donovan and Keane as a strike pair. I like them both. I think they both adequately could play up front or at AMC. I like them both either-footed, very similar in stats as well. So yeah, interesting to see how it goes. Mike, any preference on your squad numbers? Duggan, what's the nonsense comment that you're referring to? Because I've only just
presumably me saying that he's playing Edwards formation and has a team full of Galacticos. And Edwards is the most winningest manager in Champ Manager. So,
okay.
Me.
Oh, must win.
Yeah, you do have to win it. If you don't win it.
I mean, I think to say that, and it is Carlos who opens the scoring on 7 minutes for Dragons, I think and Totti on his debut, 20 yards, 9 minutes, straight back for Wanganui. Really quick start from both sides here, end-to-end stuff inside the first 20 minutes. I think to say that somebody has to win it is probably a little bit far-fetched considering the strength and depth across the league, the squad's the manager. Riquelme on debut after half an hour restores Dragons' lead, and unfortunately for Mike Bogle, has seen a red card. What will we see? I would presume that we might see a striker come off for Ado.
Yeah, or maybe Zidane making way to drop back.
Oh, potentially, yeah.
Nothing come through from Mike yet.
Central chatter, arrow off Zidane, so no change. Arrow off Zidane. So nothing from Duggan. Unlucky. That was a really good game up until that. I hope the red card don't spoil it.
Yeah, definitely.
So we get through to half time. 3 goals and a red card. Excuse me. 5 attempts from Dragons. Just the 2 from Wanganui. Quick start from Dragons. Goals from Carlos and Riquelme. Assists coming from Boya and Carlos himself, who's having an exceptional game.
Yeah, it's probably the result you'd expect. And as you say, I really hope that red card doesn't spoil it for Mike. But I think it's a very much an uphill battle against this side away from home as well.
Yeah, and I think the only player less than a 7 is Ronaldinho, and we know that he's capable of the exceptional. Quite a lot of 6s in there. Red card for Vogel gives him a 5. Not sure whether Mike will do anything at half time. I know he likes to see his tactics page, so we'll just have a quick look at that for him.
Yeah, it might be leave it till 60, but wouldn't expect anything.
Arsenal have thrown away a 2-goal lead to draw 2 Wolves. Exceptional. So, to 60 for both. Dragons out the traps quickest. Riquelme has been involved in a lot of good things, and that is Constantinu, who you would think has probably sealed it for Dragons, although it's a long way to go. A 2-goal lead with the strength of the team and against 10 men. Boy, with a chance. Abiati with a great save. Intrigued to see how Abiati does, because Bartes has been so strong for Mike over the last couple of years, but obviously he's moved on now.
Yeah, I mean, Abiati is good enough, I think. I've been quite vocal about keepers being much of a muchness. You basically just need
Constantino. Oh, well, no, that's disallowed. The whistle's gone straight offside. But it does look pretty much one-way traffic at the moment.
Yeah. If you can get one that's consistent, like Bartes has been, like Westerveld has been, like Andre has been for you, if you can just get one that doesn't throw in more than 3 5s in a season, you're happy. You're buzzing.
Yeah, I think keepers are always going to cost you games at times. But yeah, just minimising that. Pretty dominant from Dragons, all them since half time. We've got a 10 for Carlos now with a goal and assist. Riquelme Boya with the assists as well. and a pretty good performance so far from Dragons, and Duggan is just going to see it out as it is. Across at Wanganui, we've got a lot of sixes in there. Totti doing an exceptional job carrying the fight, but yeah, I mean, the red card has made it incredibly difficult for them. Quick look at the condition, but no concerns there.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be inclined to maybe do something here, but I think Mike's right. The game was gone at the point of the red card. Frustrating.
Yeah, I think if they can get a goal back quickly, it might put a little bit of pressure on Dragons, but
yeah, I'm not entirely sure where that goal would come from. Both the strikers have not had much sort of supply. It's going to come from Totti, realistically, if anything.
Yeah, we'll just see what Mike is planning. I think we might see Shearer maybe. Almeida played a lot for him last season in numerous different positions. Swap Robbie and Medovic here. Robbie, I assume you mean Robbie Keane. Robbie Keane and Medovic here. Medovic here for Meadow. Just give us a thumbs up, Mike, and let us know that's what you want.
Unless Robbie was Zay Roberto, and you're on that sort of nickname basis.
Yep, sorted. Yep, magic. So 30 minutes to see if Wanganui can get back into this. But I would be surprised if Dragons don't see this one through relatively comfortably. Into the last 20 minutes now, Zidane into the book. Flies through to 85 minutes, and it looks like Dragons are going to see this one through. What a pretty comprehensive start, and it goes from bad to worse for Mike as his second DMC is shown a second yellow, which means he's going to be without them both for the next game, unfortunately.
Yeah. Bit lucky team who's playing Mike next at this point. I imagine at 95 minutes he'll just say, just crack on. But
DMC season's gone. Play on.
Yeah, play on.
Let's get this one. And it is the final whistle. Really unfortunate. The game started electrically quick with goals from Carlos and Totti, but then just after Riquelme put Dragons ahead. That's my first day one win in any All-Star season. My game week one record is a disgrace. Unlucky. Yeah, incredibly unlucky from Mike. It was always a difficult task against such a strong Dragons side, but to lose your two DMCs made it difficult. They put up a decent fight, especially in the first 30 minutes, but it was pretty much all Dragons from there. Totti did well, as did Abiate. Zeriberto out on the left side as well. Over at Dragons, Carlos with an exceptional performance. 3 key passes, 1 assist, 2 shots, 1 goal. Rovnieko as well will be pleased. Duggan will be pleased to see him come in with Cafu out. Vieira doing what he usually does exceptionally well. Riquelme as well, who can be quite streaky with a good performance. And just an all-round solid home performance from Dragons. Well done to Duggan, to Mike. And we're going to go across to Blitz versus Warriors. So Rivaldo and Ronaldo came in from the Warriors. They also brought in Romeo from outside the league. Some players from in the draft, and then we've got Del Piero, Argel, Olasade, Bezalius, the big one.
That's the big sign.
Which means Blitz line up like this. Samuel and Okoronkwo, Zales and Nicky Butt in front of them. That's an incredibly strong defensive 4. Interesting to see Del Piero wide with Harry Kuehl at AMC. Kuehl and Extra Berea in support of Anelka. Dimble will be hoping Anelka can resume his form from last season.
Yeah, I mean, we're just saying about how strong that Dragons lineup is. That's a fucking big, strong lineup as well.
Yeah,
you're gonna have your work cut out here in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and we've done Dimble's back. Great timing. So Lejrazu and Rui Costa came in, as well as quite a lot of others. Some draft players here: Ian Hart, Jeremy Van Bommel, Finnan, Crespo, Rustico, actually live. Thierry Henry, Contra. Quite a lot of business for Warriors. We changed shape this season.
It's interesting that
I think
the business you did change your shape rather than you were changing your shape and did business to change your shape. I found that quite interesting because you were able to get Contra in.
Yeah, I was open to changing shape. I think that I wanted a big striker in, which was why I went out. And yeah, when I was kind of looking at what can I do out wide, the opportunity's been Contra in, sort of meant we dropped to to wing backs. Rui Costa's in because Van Bommel is injured. Apart from that, interested to see how Henry and Harasimovic do behind Crespo. Probably
this is one of the best Harasimovics I've ever seen. So I'm very, very to see what sort of season he has this year.
Yeah, indeed. Me too. Right, Warriors versus Blitz. Good luck to Dimble. I think this is the penultimate game of the night. $30 in, no real clear-cut chances just yet. And then Brotto with a chance there for the Blitz. Nicky Butt into the book. And Harasimovic and Crespo with a chance, but it kept out. Crespo strays offside. We're edging towards half-time. Plenty of text, but no real chances. And we get to half-time at 0-0. 6 attempts, Warriors, just the one from Blitz. Look at the Blitz first. As you would expect, the DMC's doing an awful lot of work. Best players for the Blitz in that first half, along with the goalkeeper. Quite a few chances for Warriors. Rustico doing well. Chances spread across the team. But yeah, pretty even, two decent sides on paper, playing out a pretty level game.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't look as dominant as those stats suggest. At the same token, the ratings don't bear witness to those stats either. You've only got 1-8 in your side, and you look dominant in terms of
it
stats.
felt pretty level, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm not going to do anything. Dimble has switched Kuhl and Del Piero, so we will run it to 60 minutes. And it is Ian Hart who is in the side ahead of Lezer Azu, puts Warriors 1-0 up. And Nelka with a chance to come straight back for Blitz. Barters with a big safe corner for Blitz, but it is cleared, and we get to 60 minutes. Just one attempt apiece since half time. We'll head across to Blitz for Dimble to have a look. Still, them DMC's doing an awful lot of good work. Nicky Butt 6 tackles complete out of 6, but is on a booking. 7s and 6s. For everybody else in there, we've got Ronaldo, who we may well see come on. Wouldn't expect to see collusion with them DMC's doing so well. We'll just wait the word from Dimble.
Yeah, I think it's probably a Del Piero for Ronaldo, you'd expect.
And it is a Del Piero for Ronaldo. And 2 up top, like that. Just give us a quick nudge, Dimble, to make sure you're happy. Taylor says this season will be very interesting. I think the teams are more evenly matched even than last season. Central with an arrow. Perfect. Quick look at the Warriors. Rustico still doing well, as is Bartez. assist for Henri. And I think I am just going to leave it as it is. So we will run this through to the end. Into the last 10 minutes, and it is disallowed. Crespo had the ball in the net, but it's disallowed.
Goals, right? It's at least a third or fourth disallowed goal.
Yeah, there's been quite a few. Yeah, we've got 5 minutes left. Blitz pushing, but absolutely nothing happens in those last 5 minutes. And it is Warriors who take the 3 points on game week 1. 10 attempts, 6 on target, 5 for the blitz. On the balance of it, probably just about the right result, I think. Really strong DM performances. Walter Samuel as well, doing an exceptional job for blitz. Disappointing from some of the more creative players, Mendieta, Kuhl, Extrabarria and Del Piero, all on 6s. Across at Warriors, Ian Hart picks up man of the match, a few 8s in there and some 7s. Decent performance, delighted with that. Awful lot of tackles from Rustico. I think we've seen 2 or 3 players with big numbers in that category tonight. But a decent win to start the season. Well played, Dimble, unlucky. And off to put his boy to bed. So we will see you later. And that brings us to the last game of the night, which sees Daz brought in an awful lot of players. Santa Cruz.
Awful being the pejorative word.
From the auction, but standout. Who were his standout signings? You would say, I think Bishchan is an underrated signing. I think he will do
Bishchan,
well.
Paredes, and Wes Brown. And Ehiog. They're the only 4 worthwhile signings.
I think Hersey could do well with a run of games. I think he did well over the course of a couple of seasons for Hodgie back in his maybe Ardley days or maybe even before that. But this is how it's lined up.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that 3 of Ambrosini, Bishchan, and Paredes looks pretty strong with those wing backs as well. Centre backs look better than they did. I'm a little worried about that front 3. But if Tomadira gets a big old run of games, which he's never got, as far as I can remember, in any sort of iteration of any of the sort of competitive champ games. Surprised to see Amoruso dropped, considering how well he's done for.
Yeah, he did okay last season. I think he did okay for Jens as well. Daz, just let us know if you want anything with your numbers.
Nice to note how well Daz has done on the 2 streams he's done this week as well.
Yeah.
Duck to water, very much so. I said on that first one that it felt like peak COVID era champ manager again, with just a bunch of players that no one knew who the fuck they were. Nobody cared massively. It just for the love of the game sort of streams.
Lines up like this. Montella brought in Figo, Zanoni, and Dai. Looks a really solid lineup. What do you think?
Yeah, that's a cracking 11 again. To be quite honest, probably the width being the weakest part of that 11. But you look at Ndai there, Nikiforenko. If he can get Montella scoring, Klompe and Ferdinand are a fantastic back 2 pairing.
Yeah.
I think
just completely assumed that Steve is not asked for his squad numbers. So if you are, apologies. But yeah, last game, Vanuatu versus Aborigines.
Not even sure if Steve's still here, to be honest. Not seeing him.
And it is Van der Vaart who carries on where he left off last season, puts Vanuatu 1-0 up.
I love Van der Vaart.
And it is Luca Tony who was questioned by my co-commentator pre-game, who has levelled for Aborigines.
You're welcome, Daz. Give him the kiss of death there. And
Nikiforenko on the verge of half-time has put Vanuatu 2-1 ahead. 4 attempts from them, just the 1 from Aborigines. Wes Brown doing a decent job at the back. Bishchan as well. Assist coming from Ambrosini in midfield. and Daz is going to roll to 60. Pleased enough with what I've seen. Montella with an assist. 7s across the board with the exception of Klompe. Not sure if Steve's about, but we'll give him a minute and see if he is.
I'd be surprised to see anything changed here, really, though. Oh, he is there. Roll.
Magic. So Steve's been here all night, which is good to see. Right, second half underway. Both managers sticking as is. And not a great deal happened, but just before we get to 60, Vanuatu coming forward. Montella puts it over, and we get to 60-ish.
Could have been 3 there.
And yeah, all Vanuatu really, I mean, not a huge amount of chances, but majority coming from them. We'll start with them first, and Diet and Volodenkov doing well. Figo into the book, no real issues with fitness, goals on 83. Across at Aborigines, Paredes on a 5, not ideal. Tomadera and Hersey struggling. Would expect something different from Daz. We'll see what he wants to do.
Maybe see Michael Stewart for Paredes, or drop Ambrosini back and throw a third AMC in. Russo.
Steve's going to stick, so we'll wait on some assumed changes from Daz. Paredes to Stewart.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense.
Amoroso for Tomadera. Okay, so last 30 minutes of the last game of the evening. Vanuatu still leading 2-1. 5 minutes to go. Still pretty much Vanuatu. Is there a last sting in the tail from Aborigines to get level into stoppage time? There isn't. It is Vanuatu 2, Aborigines 1, Van der Vaart and Nicky Franco. Tony for the Aborigines. Pretty deserved win. Looking at the numbers, we've got a man of the match performance for the losing away side. You can only presume is the goalkeeper. Figo did okay out on the right hand side, and Dai doing well. Nicky Franco, Montella, and Van der Vaart as well. And it is Seb Frey who picks up man of the match. Michael Stewart did well, won all 5 of his tackles after coming on. And some decent performances in there, but just not enough cutting edge to get back into the game.
That's kind of what I'd be worried about with Daz all season, realistically, is he's got some quality in there, but just not quite enough. And that's the worry, that in games like this, when it is so close, you still add that little bit extra to see him over the line.
Indeed. So
we'll pick up points this season. Yeah.
Unlucky to Daz. So that concludes first round of fixtures. AFC 1, Hobart 3.
And that's the season done now, isn't it? We're sticking there. I've come first.
Dragons 3, Wanganui 1. 2 Tavua beating Bushrats 2-1. Unicorns coming from 2 down to beat Townsville 4-2. Vanuatu, as we've just seen, beat Aborigines 2-1. And Warriors 1, Blitz 0. No draws on game week 1. Table's pretty irrelevant. Any standout results?
Was that no home losses either? Yeah, all. Oh no, apart from Hobart. There you go.
6 home wins and 1 away. Any standout results?
Well, realistically, mine at Dragons and Hobart's were the top 3 there were
Yeah, I was impressed with Hobart. I think they look good.
Very good, yeah.
I quite like the setup, if I'm honest. I noticed it's mad how everybody has completely different preferences to players, formations, and tactics. And I noticed that Duggan said earlier on in his predictions that he wasn't particularly fond of the players' tactics of Hobart, but he knows that it works for Dan. I actually quite like quite a lot of Dan's team. But yeah, good comeback from
the fact they came back from such adversity with two of their main players going down after 14 minutes. Literally the first thing that happened, they went down to effectively 9 men, and to come back and play so well and to win. Yeah, that's probably the performance of the night, realistically.
Yep. Okay. Right. I'll wrap it up there. I will get packs out tomorrow ahead of Gaz's debut on Sunday night. Thanks very much for joining me, chaps, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.
Toodles.